Hi everybody, I'm Twan, I'm here at the Hruska Clinic. This is Sara Bowling, who is somebody that we want you to get to know because she's been around here for a long time, and she has a cool story that we want to share, and especially the ending of the story and where hopefully the story is going to continue to go. So Sara, give us a little general background about yourself, where you grew up, what you did for a living, your family, just
Sure.
who you are.
Yes. So I am a Nebraska native. I've lived here almost all of my life. I have been a nurse for 20 years now. I'm married and I have two girls, preteen and teen girls.
Good luck.
They're great. They are great girls.
Yes, they are.
And before coming to the Hruska Clinic, I worked in the neonatal intensive care unit at the hospital, taking care of premature babies for 15 years. So,
Well, what happened that you had to come see us? Because nobody wants to come see us, but
Sure.
you had to come see us. When did things kind of start to change?
yes. So in 2016, I was doing great, working full time. Had young kids at home then.
How old were the girls then?
They were 4 and 7 then. We live out on an acreage, so doing all that type of work and just living life and living it. And then January of 2017, I suddenly got sick. And nobody really knew what was going on. Thought maybe it was a viral illness at first. There was kind of some elevated temperature and body aches, and it didn't really change.
Yeah.
And then this massive headache came, like right at the base of my skull, and a type of back pain that I've never had before.
And you'd had back pain before.
Yes, I have
you had injuries and
Yes,
you hurt yourself in the past.
I have a unique medical history,
Yeah.
we will say. I was a gymnast for many years and had some significant injuries.
Yeah. Which made things a little challenging as we went along, but
Yeah.
at the time they weren't bothering you.
No.
They're things you'd
No.
recovered from, and,
Yeah.
but they are in your background.
They
in your
are
past.
a layer of,
Yes.
of my story, yes.
Yes, lots of layers.
Yes. So, went to the doctor. They thought maybe it was just a migraine. Went home to rest, and it just wasn't getting better. It was getting worse.
Yeah.
And I was becoming really sensitive to light and sound, to the point where I had to have sunglasses on at home and earplugs in, and I couldn't really talk to my family. Couldn't
You
watch
have little
TV.
girls. That's kind of rough.
It was really hard. That was the hardest part
Yeah.
of it.
And so, did you try lots of things to try to get better? Were they figuring anything out?
They were figuring nothing out. Every lab result and every x-ray imaging was normal.
Yeah.
For 6 months, it was normal. And I was to the point where I was crawling to the bathroom and everywhere because I would get so dizzy when I stood up. And, well, everything was normal.
Which is almost the worst thing to hear sometimes.
It made me feel like I was kind of crazy.
Everything's over. Yes. We unfortunately we hear that, but we know that things weren't normal.
Right.
But we had layers to deal with to get there.
Yes.
So how'd you get to the Hruska Clinic? How'd you hear about PRI?
Yeah.
Was it anything specific? Or?
Sure. So they did decide that they ended up finding that I did have a CSF leak, a cerebral spinal fluid leak, and that took a while to get repaired. It was not repaired on the first try.
Right.
So did some traveling out of state to find expertise in that, and I got that repaired. And then we thought everything would be better.
Right.
but it wasn't better.
better.
It was
Did it
better
help
than it was.
some? Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Definitely helped a lot, but things
Or was
still were
needed,
not
yes.
normal.
Was needed.
Yes. So a friend actually knew someone who had been a patient at the Hruska Clinic, and she said, I don't really know much about them. I know they're out of the box, and they helped my friend who was struggling.
Yeah.
Great, that seems...
And a lot of people, that's how they find us. It is not through a specific doctor or whatever. It's, hey, I know somebody that's been there.
Yes.
And that word of mouth, which is why now that we know who we are now, we love that
Sure.
that thought process. That's how people find out
Yes.
about anything. Good doctors, bad doctors, good. Well, I don't know exactly, but this could help.
Yes. And it was comforting to know that someone had been here.
Yeah.
Because looking into the approach, it was so different than anything else. But also, none of the other doctors were helping.
Right. So you were kind of like, well,
So
if
why
something
not?
will work, why not?
Yeah.
So what about it? So you came in, you met, and you worked with Lori. Started working with Lori right away. Was there anything right away, early on, that you were like, oh, this is something different, something that maybe I understand a little bit?
Your whole team understood what was happening with my body better than any other doctor has.
So having somebody that could explain maybe why
Yes.
you might be having the issues you're having.
Yes, and understanding that not just the situation I was in currently, but the layers of my own unique medical history,
Right.
how that is playing into what's happening now.
So having somebody that kind of has a framework that says, we have things that we know we could work towards.
Yes.
Something that's actually wrong.
Yes. Even
Even
though
though he's not right, even though you're not your normal, right?
correct.
Yeah, we looked at it, well, you're not really
Yeah.
normal.
Yes. Yes.
So to speak. Good deal. So, so talk us through, because I know you, and we know it's been a long journey, because there's lots of layers to deal with.
Yes.
Kind of outline some of the big picture things that you kind of had to push through over the last few years, actually. Yes.
Yes. The biggest one, I think, to start with was finding the floor.
Yeah.
It took a long time
To figure
to
out
find the floor.
which for people who don't get that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's right there.
Yeah.
But it could be there, but if you don't know.
Yeah, getting my brain to sense the floor and
Right.
feel safe in my body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of combination of tools.
Yeah, which is experimenting and okay. So
Yes.
what was kind of the first tool that you got that you said, oh, that really changed something?
Yeah. I mean, shoes, of course, that
Right.
seems to be a given. And then
Seems to, but doesn't always. Right? Yeah.
Right, yes. And then probably, I think, I did get prism classes,
Right.
and that did not feel helpful at first. It felt like it made it worse.
Mhm.
We just had to give my brain some time to adjust. And then I did notice a difference with that. And then the next big one was when we started working on like a splint and orthodontic.
Yeah. So you just hit kind of the three big areas that we really look at, which are three big tools that your brain does use to figure out where you are. Where are you on planet Earth with your feet?
Right.
Where are you at in the world with your eyeballs? And where does your head and neck fit
Yeah.
based on your teeth?
Yeah.
And when those three things, and you had problems with all three of those things, which is why it was kind of challenging to get things matched up,
Yes.
which takes a lot of time. And you can tell you're still working on some teeth things,
Still
right?
working on some teeth.
Because that was a big issue, that was a layer. I'm not
Yes.
gonna get into details, but it makes things harder to kind of get through. So there's a process and a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
So what was it that really you felt helped you say, well, I got to stick this out. This is a long process. I've been doing this for a while. Is it actually helping? I got these weird glasses that I don't know that I feel any better. Was there anything that really you felt helped you kind of push through?
I think knowing that it was not going to be a miracle cure overnight, just knowing that foundationally that it was going to take a while, there were definitely days where I felt worse before I felt better.
Yeah.
And I was a little unsure, but I also knew that, again, traditional doctors and approaches to healthcare, they weren't helping.
Didn't have any.
So-
didn't have any answers.
So let's at least go with the people who understand what's happening in my body, and I can walk in and they can tell me probably how I'm feeling without me saying, and based on what my testing is showing.
And,
So
but
that
here's,
gave me
and here's the
confidence.
plan of where we're going to go. So
Yes.
having that plan.
Yes.
Was there any time you ever wanted to just like fire us?
Probably a few times. I got really frustrated. I was unable to drive for years.
Yeah.
Like from 2017 till pretty much 2021, I started driving again. That's a long time to
Long
not
time
drive.
with kids
And with little kids.
having to come to
and
appointments and
living outside of Lincoln.
of course you had your mom who was such a big help for
Yes, and my husband helped, and like so many people. I think
Yes.
every family member helped at some point. Give me a
you.
ride
Which
here.
having that support system is key, huge.
Yes. Yes. So I was getting frustrated for a while that I just want to be able to drive and not feel like I'm going to puke while driving or riding.
Yeah.
And just sticking with it. And the thing that did help was I felt better during the exercise. I can't say that I always felt better when I was done with the exercise, but in the moment I could feel a difference, even if it was
doing
20
something.
seconds.
Yes. You started to feel like you had a little bit of control.
Yes.
Was there ever a moment when you finally went, I think I got some control back? Do you have those moments? Some of our patients say, I could tell, I didn't feel better necessarily, but I
Right.
knew, and I think I'm finally starting to get some control back.
Yes, there was repeated moments over time of little things like, oh, the weather change didn't affect me as much this time. Or, oh, I didn't feel as terrible riding in the car this
We're already
day.
here and I'm not sick yet? Oh, good.
Right. Or, oh, I could go up, I remember being able to walk up the whole flight of stairs and not having to take a break.
Yeah.
And that was like, okay, I'm getting better.
And having people that can kind of support you and say, hey, Sarah, we think that's a great thing.
Right.
Instead of going, what do you mean?
Right. It's a flight of stairs. So,
Good.
yeah,
All right, so kind of tell us where you're at now, because obviously you drove here this morning.
I did.
Your kids are on summer vacation and they haven't completely driven you nuts yet. I'm teasing.
Yes.
Because you're handling that and you're doing some cool things now. So where are you at now?
Yeah. So I am still doing therapy.
Right.
Still doing orthodontia. We know, probably maybe a year. I don't know. We'll see how teeth take their
And
own
if you want to know more about that, you can talk to Sarah. She'll tell you the
always.
whole story about
Yes.
that. But
Yes, and then as far as, yes, I can drive by myself, which is amazing. I can walk, like I'm walking for exercise now.
not just to walk to survive,
Not
to walk
just
to
survival walking, yes.
Yeah.
I have started my own business,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Back working again.
Something I didn't think I would be able to do a few years ago. So that's really cool to be able to be serving people again.
Which is
and not just
that was
surviving.
your heart for
Yes.
ever. Right, that's what you want to do.
Yes.
We know you. So tell us about your business.
Yeah. So after working in hospital for that many years, having a health journey, it shifts your perspective on
Sure does.
what you know works. So I am now doing holistic health and wellness coaching using my nursing background. And I get to help support people to become the healthiest version of themselves. And that doesn't always mean physical health. It can be physical health. It can be a mental health challenge. It can be a goal that they've always wanted to achieve, but they don't know where to start. Like just finding their strengths and playing off of those into making them be the best that they can be.
That's pretty good. So what does that look like? Are you just sitting down with them one-on-one talking and coaching? Are you helping them write out goals? What kind of things are you in person? Are you doing virtual stuff?
Yeah. So most all of my sessions are virtual, which is great because then I can help people anywhere around the world, which is really cool. And they are one-on-one sessions. I might do group coaching in the future, but right now I really am enjoying the personal
Just being one-on-one
connection. Yes. And we really just go through and see, what is heavy in your life right now and what do you want to work on and improve. And then we make goals that are specific to them. Like it's not, the latest diet or exercise trend. It's what do you want to do? And, how can I support you with what works for you? And we usually work together for, we start at like 12 weeks and then kind of go from there.
Excellent. And I bet you just enjoy doing that.
I love doing that. Yes.
I
It's
can
fun.
bet that you do.
It's fun to use that nursing knowledge in a different way.
Yeah. And with the journey you've been on, I think you have some good unique perspectives to offer people.
Yes.
For those things of, well, let's stick it out. Things aren't going to be easy. It's going to be challenge. There's going to be days you're going to want to give up. There's going to be small moments that you have to pay attention to and go, that was a big win, even though it doesn't feel like it's a big win.
Baby steps. That's totally the key.
So because we know you and because we know what you've been through, we're hopeful that you could be of help to some of our patients.
Yeah.
So how do you feel you could be of help with people that are kind of going through similar things that you're going through, and what might that look like?
Yes, I would be honored to support people that are going through this because it would have been helpful when I was going through it to have someone who had already been there
Mhm.
to encourage you. And the therapists do a great job of encouraging you, but it is different talking to the person who's
Actually been through it.
there.
Absolutely.
Yes, and feeling all the symptoms.
Mhm.
Or maybe different symptoms, but their own symptoms, you know, that are
For having the, am I crazy or am I not crazy?
yes, and stick with it.
And you had good family support, but I'm sure there are moments as well with really supportive families where it's
Yes.
still like, are you sure this is what we should be doing?
Yes, this is an investment in
Yeah.
time and money
Money
and
resources.
energy, all of that.
And we've been doing this for a while, and are you sure this is what we need to be
Yes,
doing? But to have somebody else that can kind of help support you, your
Yeah.
family,
Yes.
other people that are going through with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're hopeful that, I know we have patients that we can say, man, that would be so great if they had somebody, because maybe they don't even have that supportive family.
Right.
That would have somebody they could reach out to. So
Yeah.
we're hopeful that that's something that we can
Yeah.
use, and we just want to support you so you can continue to grow and do what you want to do as well. So
Yeah, I think that would be great. And I think talking to someone even before you come to the clinic, if you're a more complex patient, like a prime patient, I think
Yeah.
that would be helpful to know what to expect. And then maybe talking to them, you know, after you've had the first session of, because that's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then, you know, kind of checking in as you go on.
Because we see people that aren't here in Lincoln. You were lucky enough that you could
Yes.
drive
Yes.
and see us, even though the
Yes.
driving was terrible. But to try to manage that from afar is challenging.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to have more resources that we have available, particularly since you can do that virtual,
Right.
it may be something that I think is going to be a good
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be great.
would you have one piece of advice for people that are just either starting out a program, kind of in the midst of it, dealing with the storm that's going on? Is there one kind of thing that kind of got you through, one thought process?
Really
I
just
put you on the spot there.
don't give up.
Okay.
Like that seems so simple.
I know.
But just keep doing it. And even, you know, if you feel terrible, do it for 1 minute
Yeah.
a day. And that's all. Like give yourself grace and don't give up.
Excellent. And we probably should, I don't know, I mean, maybe I don't know, but you have written a book
Yes.
that's out there, and not that we're trying to plug your book,
Right.
because that's not the point.
No.
But if people want a deeper kind of understanding of your story,
Sure.
they can find your book.
Yes. Yeah.
What's it called again?
Yeah. When Great and Grace Collide.
Yes, because you said Grace, and that's what
Yeah.
popped out in my head.
Yes. And it's available on
On
Amazon.
Amazon, whatever. But not that we're pumping the
Right.
book,
No,
but it's a great read, and we've had a lot of people. We have it in our waiting room, and people pick it up. And
Sure.
who is this girl?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we just wanted you to meet Sarah. Thanks for coming again this morning.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a great summer.
Yes.
And if you guys have questions, contact us or contact Sarah, and we'll get that information out to you. Have a great day.
Thanks.